What's up, everybody? Sideline Specialists is back with episode number 25. We're talking Daniel Jones, Malik Nabers, Saquon Barkley, plenty of football, plenty of topics to go on about, and Thanksgiving coming up for those of you in the United States. So, without further ado, let's kick things off.
Welcome to Sideline Specialists.
And we are back. What's going on, Tom?
What up? Oh, God, just a day of playing Call of Duty. After family Thanksgiving yesterday, so I felt like a bloated potato.
As you should on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for sure. I had so much food. It's a joke.
If you did it yesterday, what are you doing on actual Thanksgiving?
My girlfriend's.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes
My
sense.
family's always does it always on a Sunday because there's so many kids. So like if we try to do it on Thursday, it's like, yes, they'll probably have the day off, but the parents, you know what I mean? Like my cousins might not then.
I see.
So Sunday's easiest. Yeah, and it was fun. I was just like, good Lord. Got home, got to see like most of the Eagles game. I'll say like 2/3 of the first quarter and then on.
Okay.
So it was definitely a good game to come home and watch.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I saw your text from last night because I was already asleep. And then the moment I saw your text, I was like, oh, God, what did Saquon do? And then I saw his stat line, and I was like, that looks like a quarterback stat line.
Dude, it was insane. Like, well, all right, so you start the second half with that run, and you're like, Jesus Christ, yeah, that's like he's him, cool, right? And like rest of the game, he's getting his yards with every run, whatever. And then there's 2:48 left. You're like, all right, it's kind of like just get the first down and ball game,
right?
But nobody was near him, so he just ran for another 70 yards, and you're like, sick. It's just ridiculous. Like, but yeah, seeing the numbers, you're just like, this is video game shit again. Like, Madden announces, oh yeah, his reverse hurdle has been put in, and then this happens, and you're like, okay. I mean,
the reverse hurdle in Madden is just so crazy because like you would be used to seeing it in Madden, but not realize that like, no, it happened in real life before Madden.
Yeah. And they decided this is so insane, we have to put it into a video game because that's video game shit. And
right.
It was so all right. So I always watch the Eagles post like a video, at least one video a week that shows like behind the scenes crap. And their production team is just remarkable.
Right.
And that one of the team meetings, you have Sirianni going through all these clips, and he plays that one again. And he literally, you just think the camera goes to him, and he is just stood there staring at it. He just goes, fuck. It's just like, exactly. I mean, what else can you say? So it's the perfect segue too, though, because you look at the Eagles' improvement and just their style of play. Obviously, with a new offensive coordinator, the shift was going to be there anyway, but just the realization and acceptance that you have a generational talent in Saquon and how you can play a game around him in a lot of ways. And for the Giants to have chosen Daniel Jones over him, who is now literally no longer a Giant, it is like a masterclass in how to absolutely decimate a franchise. And it is. I mean, they're in a position to get a high draft pick. but it's not like their success rate has been good since Eli, as far as the quarterback position is concerned. So there are a bunch of choices this year. I don't know what style of QB they're going to want to go for, but I would have to imagine that that's exactly what they are going to do coming up here in this draft. So,
yeah. Before we get to Daniel Jones, though, Saquon Barkley is staying on that topic.
yeah.
I would say by far now, especially after the down game that Lamar had last week against the Steelers, overall, just the kind of downside of like how the Ravens look, and then Saquon being so insanely good, especially in that game against the Rams, has had to have made him the favorite for MVP. Like, even I'm saying, like, if I had a vote, I would probably vote for Saquon right now, because we saw this essentially the same Eagles offense last season, and it didn't nearly look as good as it does with Saquon there. And that's not even that's not even including Jason. Like, Jason Kelce's not even there.
Yeah.
So
there were a lot of risks taken. Like, you sign Mekhi Becton, who's never played guard in the NFL, and you just go, yeah, you're playing guard now, because you trust Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach, to just get him there quickly. And he's been unreal. And then Juergens, who was handpicked by Kelce to be his replacement, has been like just clearly getting better every week. He had a rough start with some like wild snaps and et cetera, but he's clearly settled in now, and it's very visible. I mean, the Eagles were without Devontae this week, so I was worried because the Rams have been playing great football. They're healthy, which makes them scary. And the Eagles did not ever seem phased. Like, the Rams had some good drives, and obviously that can get in your head a little bit as a defense. Defense did not care at all. They just did what they needed to do. The biggest note coming out of this game, unfortunately, is Brandon Graham will be missing the remainder of the season with a torn tricep, which if this is 10 years ago, you go, oh, he'll be back. Before the season, he said this is probably his last year. So this really hurts as an Eagles fan. He's like a heart and soul. Once Kelce retired, he's easily the veteran.
It was hard defense. Watching his post game talk about it in the locker room.
You can just see the heartbreak, but he's trying to be like tough, and it's just like, dude, just let it out, because we know how you feel. We feel how you feel. Trust me. Exactly. But yeah, BG, we love you. We know you're not actually going anywhere. You'll be on the sidelines. He'll probably be like right next to Big Dom yelling crazy shit, which would be hilarious. But
the man's been on the Eagles since 2010. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Insane.
It's truly crazy. Because even then it took him. It is crazy how so many storylines like repeat themselves though for the Eagles. Like, Graham took years for the fans to start getting behind him, because he didn't start out hot. Even when he got picked, it was questioned because he was undersized, but he had the speed, which, I mean, dude was 38 last night, and he had a hell of a game. And Nolan Smith is the guy I'm relating him to. It's like, obviously high pick, expect him to do a lot of great things coming right out of the gate, because you see the college pedigree and you're like, all right, cool. Took him some time, but this year you can see it every game. Like, his confidence is building. He got to Stafford a couple times. I mean, so I know, and that's another reason. It's like, I know BG literally will be living in that locker room, rehabbing, just because he wants to be around the guys, especially the young dudes, and just be the mentor. So,
oh yeah,
it's like all his energy will not be lost in that way.
Brandon Graham, in his draft year, the number 1 pick was Sam Bradford.
Yep.
Number 2 pick was Ndamukong Suh.
Both retired.
The only active players from the entire first round of the 2010 draft, in order from where they were drafted, is Trent Williams, who was number 4.
What a unit, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Tyson Alu, who's number
Okay.
10. Then Brandon Graham at 13. Jason Pierre-Paul at 15. Kareem Jackson at number 20. And Jerry Hughes at 31. Those are the only active players from that first round.
And even like obviously Trent Williams, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. He's probably the best player from that draft. And I like, with all respect, I think he is the best player from that draft. It's hard to say BG's not number 2 when you just think about the body of work, the strip sack on Brady in a Super Bowl. Obviously, maybe there's some later round guys that were like retired sooner, but had a big impact. But I can't remember that draft that well. Yeah, and but you know what I mean. Like a guy like him, it's like yeah. He's guaranteed Hall of Fame or one of the best at his position in the history of the entire game. But that's like you look at the first round, you're like, this longevity for his position too. That's the other key.
Oh yeah,
and to be producing still is wild. Like, and Ndamukong Suh was bouncing team to team, struggling to find a home, find a contract at all. Had retired, and then the Eagles called him and signed him out of retirement that one year. And BG, it was never a question. It was just Howie sitting there going like, "Do you still want to play? Because we'll give you a deal." Period.
Right.
Like, end of story. It's the same. He's one of those guys that just, and it's so rare in sports now. He's one of those dudes. He would never have played anywhere else anyway. Even if you rewound time, he would never have been anything but an Eagle. And I love that because Philly is one of the very few cities where that sort of deal occurs in football anymore. Philly and Baltimore. Baltimore has a lot of that too. Even if they trade for a guy, that guy will be there for the rest of his career. Like, it's, if they like you, they will absolutely stick by you.
Oh yeah, they'll like you, and then like the fans and everybody are literally like Raven for life. Like,
yeah,
right off the bat.
But it's how a lot of Eagles deal with post career too. Like Kelsey's so active with the team, and then obviously doing all that other stuff. But
right. By the way, Pro Football Reference has this like weighted career approximate value. And it says like 100% of the AV is best season, 95% next best season, blah, 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 blah. So they did like a weighted career approximate value of this draft class. It says Ndamukong Suh's number 1, which is interesting to me. But some of the other names that Brandon Graham is in there in like the top 15, because some of these other names I didn't remember, obviously. So it has Trent Williams number 2, Antonio Brown number 3.
Oh, AB was in that. Yeah.
6th round pick.
That's what I was gonna say, because he was so late that he was
super late.
I mean, even if he was a second or first round pick, his value would still have matched that. You know what I mean? Just because of the production. But I'm imagining that it's weighted based on where they were taken too.
I think that has some to do with it. Yeah. I mean, most of these people are in the first round in this like top 15 area, but
okay.
Then there's Geno Atkins.
Oh, God.
Earl Thomas.
Don't say Geno Atkins to me, man. I miss that. I miss that man's.
I don't doubt that one bit.
I know you don't miss him, but I do.
True.
That guy. That was like when the Bengals were trash. He was a reason to still tune in, because you're like,
for sure.
Who is he gonna blow up? Like just today.
Then there was Earl Thomas.
Okay. Can we for 2 seconds just be like, Earl Thomas, stay retired, and then we can.
Oh yeah, after he said he's better than Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu, definitely stay retired.
Yeah, I'm like, the CTE is showing, my guy. Like, it's just it's all over you. Let's just go ahead and stay safe, because
1,000%.
Ed Reed and you one-on-one career wise is just not even in the same stratosphere. Not a chance.
Not at all. Then there's Marquise Pouncey, Gronk, Pierre-Paul, Devin McCourty,
ooh,
Navarro Bowman,
Were both McCourties in that one? Because they are twins, aren't they?
Just Devin McCourty.
Okay, and then it's Jason. Is his
I
brother's
think
name?
so.
I thought
That
they were
sounds
like
right.
literally twins. Maybe the
I
one
thought they were
stayed.
too. One might have stayed a little longer than the other.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe.
Oh yeah, Jason
Maybe.
McCourty came out in 2009.
Okay, so one
Devin was
played.
2010.
Maybe one of them got injured in college, and that was the reason.
Probably.
Potential.
Yeah. So Navarro Bowman, Linval Joseph, Gerald McCoy,
There's a name I haven't
Demarius
heard of.
Thomas.
Linval Joseph is a name I haven't heard in a while, but yeah,
I know.
totally get that. Yeah.
Demarius Thomas, Jerry Hughes, Carlos Dunlap, another Bengal there for you.
He was very underappreciated.
Agreed.
He was more appreciated once he left, like, to be fair.
That's true. Then you get to the last names right before Brandon Graham are Emmanuel Sanders, Joe Hayden, Des Bryant, and Jimmy Graham.
All right.
I forgot Jimmy Graham's technically still active, by the way.
I don't know how I feel about Joe Hayden being above BG.
He's debatable.
Because here's my thing too. Like I always in my head I'm like, all right, I'm going to take the guy who played longer.
Right.
And even if he wasn't like necessarily putting up the numbers on the stat sheet, he was disruptive. And that's the thing too, is like there's so many plays where BG is like absolutely disrupting a play, but you won't get a number for it. Like, and I guess that the same could be said for a guy like Joe Hayden too. It's like if they're not throwing his way, then he's clearly doing his job. And I did like Joe Hayden a lot, but he just did not. I don't think he played at a high level half as long.
I agree. And it feels like it's waiting like Pro Bowls in there because it does have Pro Bowls listed. And honestly, to me, Pro Bowls don't really mean much anymore.
They don't mean shit to me at all. Like
exactly.
Buda Baker making it last year over Winfield. Like, are we fucking kidding?
But they both have one All-Pro team, and it was an All-Pro second team, and that's it for the both of them. So like they're tied on that level. But I think he's debatable for sure.
There's just so many things that matter, and to me, it's like I don't know how many playoff games Joe Hayden appeared in, but I can tell you exactly how many BG fucking played in, and it was a hell of a lot more, and they were way more meaningful. And he's got a ring, and Hayden doesn't. So
it wasn't until Hayden went to the Steelers that he finally started making the postseason.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. It's like I don't expect a corner to like get you to the postseason,
right?
You know what I mean? It's like your offense still has to do the bulk of the scoring. Like you can do your job and keep the points low, but if your offense is fucking garbage, which obviously when he was on Cleveland, their offense was a tragedy. So I feel for him in that regard. Like if he had been on a team that could compete, I'm sure I would be like thinking differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd give him the benefit, but
as we could see, the moment he went to the Steelers, who had Big Ben and everybody, that defense was just ridiculous.
Yeah, he was a good fit there too. It made sense for them to get him.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's talk about Daniel Jones. So Daniel Jones, his ass gets cut. He gone. He gone.
He gone with like 18 exclamation points.
There has been speculation around where he's going. People have said that he wants to go to a contender and be a backup, because obviously he's not going to be a starter for any type of contender.
And that's what I hope too. I hope he kind of accepts, like, I hope he can look himself in the. I know he can actually, because he is a really nice guy, but I hope he understands like where he's going to fit, because he's not a starter and he has to know that. Like he has to know.
Oh yeah.
And it is a shame because like it's a cool him getting drafted where he did is a cool story. Like you see where he started and kind of his progression at each level, and the odds of him getting taken where he did obviously were low, but he did, and props to him for that. But I think, I mean, realistically, like if he wanted to be hopeful, I guess he would hope for like Pittsburgh or maybe the Raiders. Because at this point, where the Raiders are at this season, it's like they're going to get their franchise QB in this draft. It's coming, and they just need to not miss on the pick. But if you take him to a place like that, as much as people want to like shit on Daniel Jones, he would be a hell of a veteran to have in your locker room, because as much so much shit he's been through, he always does actually find a way to stay positive.
That's true.
And I will have mad respect for that, because he could have been, especially in New York, that market is ruthless, and he could have been broken by that, and he wasn't. Like, that's impressive in itself. And I do wish him the best, because there's a lot of QBs with egos. There's a lot of guys who are just like really shitty people that do not deserve the kind of money. He's not one of those. He's like a good dude on and off the field. Just kind of a shit. It's one of those shit deals where you get drafted to a Giants franchise that needed someone like transcendent to save it, because their coaching and like ownership and management is just that bad.
Right.
And he couldn't. There's no. I mean, I don't know if there was anybody that could have put the weight of that franchise on their shoulders. And yeah, obviously,
especially
like
with all the other stuff they needed.
Yeah. And that was the other thing too. It's like they finally tried to start giving him what he needed, like signed O-line, drafted Malik Nabers, and you're like, oh, cool. And they let Saquon, the best player in the entire team, walk. And you're like, okay, yeah, they just don't know. Like, just it makes it so much funnier now watching that fucking Hard Knocks where Joe Shane is like, you don't pay a QB $40 million to hand off to a $13 million back. It's like, well, the Eagles are paying their QB 50 fucking 5 or like 51, and they're handing off to him very happily, and he's got 1,400 fucking yards, Joe Shane. So maybe you need to reevaluate the priorities within the game of football. But I hope you don't, so that you can keep sucking and the Eagles can keep shitting on you. It just blows my mind, right? Because, and actually, you know what? Another props for Daniel Jones. You're set for life from that money, so fuck yeah.
Oh,
but,
yeah. He's like, I'm fine with that.
But that's why I look at Daniel Jones. I'm like, Duke education. Like, I know he loves the game. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up a coordinator at some point.
Right.
You know, like that kind of deal, like Kellen Moore kind of deal, like QB to coordinator. Like, and I think he'd be great at it.
I could see it.
His football IQ is fine. It's just like, if you're not that great a quarterback, it just is what it is. Yeah. Like, we're human. Some people are great. Some people aren't.
That's like in basketball. That's why there's point guards that end up becoming coaches, even though like being an actual point guard, they might not have been like the best point guard. You still have like the knowledge of the game, but you might not have had the physical tools or the brain to body like connection to do everything that you could think of.
I love that analogy. I love that.
Yeah. And like the teams I would like to see him, if he's a backup, I would love to see him maybe in Minnesota there with Sam Darnold, especially until JJ McCarthy comes back. And then
even do a swap, because we don't know if Darnold's going to get like re-signed, because I think they still want McCarthy to be their future. So it's like, obviously one veteran for another is weird, but if you want McCarthy to have a mentor, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you just kept all three or something, or just took in Daniel Jones and kept Darnold until the offseason and then traded him or whatever, it would be kind of funny having two ex-New York quarterbacks on your team and seeing them flourish. That would just be funny in and of itself. But Minnesota
being from Philly makes us just love New York suffering.
Oh yeah, exactly. Chicago backing up Caleb Williams, wouldn't mind that at all. Seattle, wouldn't mind him being the backup to Geno Smith, especially because if anything happens, you would allow him to throw the ball to people.
I would touch on that too, because there's a lot of obviously. I think Geno heard the noise, because like I think 2 weeks ago, there were a lot of people complaining about maybe after the Giants loss, when they lost to the Giants. A lot of people saying like there's a reason Geno was a backup for so long. Like it's, you know what I mean? And then obviously went into San Fran. I know San Fran's struggling right now. Winning there is hard as shit. I don't care.
Especially interdivision.
You know what I mean? Divisional games, you flip a coin. Like it doesn't matter. Like there's certain occasions where it's not, but like this weekend was a perfect example. Cowboys beating the Commanders in Washington. Like it's divisional gets wild. Geno has played really good, smart football 2 weeks in a row. And it's not like they put up crazy points, but if you're winning the games, you're not making the mistakes that lose you the games. Like you can call him a game manager, you can call him whatever. I think Geno's going to be there for years, and I agree with you completely. You put Daniel in a system like that, if he has to play, they have the weapons. Their O-line isn't complete shit anymore. It was when Russ was there, because goddamn, but like they've been trying to draft that because they have their weapons already, which that makes it easier for a team going into draft night when you know, like receivers, yeah, we're good. Running backs, I like the duo. Like, yeah.
Yep.
That's what Jones has needed his whole freaking career, is just balance, and he's never had it. And the Giants could not provide that, which blows my mind, because it's like, you as a franchise, you guys have mad history of success.
Right.
So why can't you just take formulas that clearly work and just do that? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the last team I thought of was the Dolphins, just because all of their backup quarterbacks were absolutely garbage. And just in case something happens to Tua, you would probably like to have Daniel Jones over the 5 quarterbacks they've tried out since.
Let's Skylar Thompson and fucking Ty Huntley. I like Huntley, but God, he looked so bad this year.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So bad.
Agreed. I really believed that Huntley was gonna like be able to actually make them look like a respectable team. And then the moment he played, I was like, good Lord.
It didn't make sense, right? Because you're like, it's not like you don't have receivers. It's not like you don't have running backs. It's not like you don't have tight ends. Jonnu Smith has been a fucking monster this year.
Yeah, he has.
And even though he talked shit on the Bills and they lost that game, he played really well in that game. Like he was it's like the Dolphins are a threat to make a wild card. 100%. They are hot. And if you send Daniel Jones to a team like that, where even if he's behind people, it's like he's going to be repping with those guys.
Right.
And that's what matters. Like, if your practices every week are with shit talent, you're not going to gain anything. And that's the problem. Like, in years past, obviously, the Giants had good secondary players. Like, obviously, Xavier McKinney leaves too, which another Giants fucking blunder. He has 7 picks. He's insane.
He's been ridiculous this season.
But it's another. But I think literally it is a case of he got free of that franchise and is now able to blossom because he's playing with more positive energy around guys who really care, and the ownership cares, the team cares, and if you believe that doesn't matter, you're lost. Like the Eagles have won 7 straight because the vibes are immaculate. They come into each week believing in themselves, believing in the process and like the game plan, and they just go out and execute. And then obviously you have your on the fly kind of modifications. Obviously, like as much as Hurts didn't put up crazy numbers in that game last night, he played phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Anytime he needed to throw a ball away, like on a really lost play, and he had the chance to throw it away, he did. Obviously, he got hit a couple times because he does. I love his patience, but there's like over patience with him sometimes, and he gets kind of smoked. And I'm like, dude, I know you're like strong, but please stop getting hit in the back. Like, please. I just the NFL's in a good, like, we're in a good spot as a league, and especially as viewers to enjoy the league. There's so many good quarterbacks. There are a lot of good teams, and there's a lot of teams that can win games that you think they shouldn't.
Right.
But since we're just talking about like DJ, it's like, just give him a shot to work with good people.
Exactly.
That know football the way that we know, like we love football. It's their passion. They give a shit.
It's funny too, because every team we name for him to just be a backup would already be the best team in terms of like overall talent he's ever been on in his NFL career. Because the Giants could just never put anybody out there for him, and he continuously was like the most sacked quarterback in the league. But to go along with your point about like breaking free of that franchise and just like becoming like finding the joy in football again. You then have Malik Nabers, who I have this clip from the post game.
I have a clip too because you said basketball. You made a basketball analogy, and Jahmyr Gibbs did such a wonderful, beautiful thing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm going to show it because it made me so happy. But you first.
All right. So here is Malik Nabers when they asked why he didn't have a catch until the second half.
Not the shades indoors.
I know. And like what is going on with like the game plan surrounding him?
Go out there first, second quarter, don't get the ball, start getting targets at the end. I mean, can't do nothing. Start getting the ball when it's 30-0. What you want me to do?
Why in the first half are they not looking at you?
I don't know. Talk to Dave about that. Talk to Dave.
Did you say something to the coaches at that time?
I mean, they know. They come up to me, ask me what plays I want. That was that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I have to. All right. I did not see the full clip, so I'm just going to go like immediate reaction on that. I cannot be mad at him for 1 second.
I'm not mad at him at all.
At all. I think like you look at the success LSU receivers have had, right?
Yep.
And he is absolutely in that tier. And it's fucking evident. Like his route running is so clean, his hands are true. It is a case of a franchise just wasting talent, and they do it at all positions. They are not picky about what positions they want to ruin. And he is going to be a dude who ends up out of there before that rookie contract is over, period. End of story.
100%.
He is a guy who knows winning. He wants to win, and he deserves to win because on the field, even though that score was as askew as it was, if you watch it, it's not like he was running lazy routes. Like he was full effort trying to be open, and he was open. And fucking stupid ass Italian pizza tosser was just dog shit again. And I love the fact that Baker went and did that celebration, and he's like,
that was hilarious.
He was like, it was full, just in the moment, on emotion, just did it. And then a reporter asks him if he's Italian, and he's like, well, I haven't done the 23andMe, so I don't know. But it's like, but I look at Malik Nabers, I'm like, dude, if you imagine him on Pittsburgh right now with Russ, just like, that's all I have to say. Like, because even in a loss against the Browns, Russ had a good game. And if you give him a duo, you give him a partner, you put him in a team with coaching that has just established, a system is established. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's top 5 in like the entire NFL right now. And the Giants just cannot provide anything near that. So I look at Malik Nabers, I'm like, dude, I understand your frustration, and I can't blame you for even 1 millisecond for feeling the way that you do, because I like losing in anything sucks.
Yeah.
But as a pro athlete, like the demoralization, especially as a rookie too, right? Like that's the thing people forget too. It's like a rookie, they're used to winning in college. They're used and high school and middle school and everything. And now they're up here, and it's not even themselves that are causing these issues. It's not like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Right.
We know he's good enough. There's a reason he was taken when he was taken. And the way the team is built around him is just, it's never going to be able to actually utilize his talents ever. And
exactly.
if you're a pro athlete, I can fully understand why that would be your point of frustration. Is for a guy like him to literally not even have a target in the first half is just mind blowing. Like, where is DeVito looking? Literally, he should be the first look every single play, and I don't even care if he's just staring him down. Like, he's the guy. And then you go to Slayton,
Right.
and then you go to Wandale, and then you can move on. Like,
That's
insane to me.
And that's what's crazy, like, just in, like, expanding that view, like, how I've been looking at Kyler Murray with Marvin Harrison, Tua with Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Like, all of these guys with their number one receivers that they just aren't even fucking looking at for an extended period of time. And with the Giants, it's like, you obviously, like, with those other teams, at least Miami, like, Waddle is better than most, like, any other wide receivers the Giants have.
And Jonnu is a top 10 tight end. So, like, he's
right.
He's got options at receiving out of the backfield. So, like, that.
Yeah, and you're throwing it to A-Chain.
I like the Tua one because obviously, like, we know what Hill is, but the one thing I'll say about Hill is he is a guy who is almost notorious for not giving max effort play to play.
True.
Which bothers the fuck out of me because I'm like, dude, you literally are faster than 99.9 repeating percent of people on the planet. You could just win every play if you actually wanted it.
True.
And Tua will find you because his arm is very excellent. So, like, but that's what, like, it's with Nabers, I'm like, you give this dude a quarterback and a system that's actually designed correctly.
Yeah. And I would say the Giants situation is more relatable to the Cardinals because you have Marvin Harrison and Malik Nabers that are, like, far and away the top receiver, despite being a rookie. The only difference is the Cardinals have McBride, whereas the Giants have, like, nobody at tight end. But even then, it's just like as a backup quarterback, normally as well, you're throwing it to your number one receiver 99% of the time. Because as a backup quarterback, you're like, this guy is going to be the one to catch the ball, even if I don't throw a perfect ball.
Yeah.
So the fact that he didn't even target him once is just, like, not only dumb on a, like, basic, this is my wide receiver one level, but it's also dumb on a higher strategy level. Like,
yeah. Well, because it's just like the level of frustration. It's like, if you're Tommy DeVito, it's like, I know for damn sure all those first team reps were plays designed involving Malik Nabers. I know they were. Period.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no way in hell they were going to have you focus on anybody else first. So it's mind blowing. And, like, obviously they got decimated. Like, that's a home game. They got shat on.
Yep.
By a Tampa team that is just way better. And we know they're better. They have been injury riddled all season, and we know that their record would be a hell of a lot better too, had that not been the case. But
Bucky Irving just ran all over them.
All over. And Evans is clearly back. And I need Baker to feed him like he's fucking Joey Chestnut. Just fucking give him every single throw so he hits 1,000 yards again. I don't give a shit.
Seriously.
Like, throw 5 picks. Get Mike Evans 1,000 yards. He did not choose to get hurt. It's frustrating.
Finally driving, by the way.
I know. I have it on my iPad. That's why if you see me looking at this angle where my eyes are right now, I'm checking.
Yeah, if you see me looking, like, up and this way.
Yep.
Like, yeah,
Derrick Henry with a beautiful run up the middle. Love that.
I know. Thank God. Lamar's playing pretty terribly right now.
I understand frustration in pro like sports, and it's so funny to me that you'll have all these, like, fucking casuals come out of the woodwork and then comments on anything and just be like, oh, you're whining, you're getting paid this much. It's like, they work their whole fucking life from probably 5 years old just to get to the league. They are a part of such a small percentage of human beings that get to even taste this, and they're at the top of that percent because of their skill at holding. Yeah.
Illegal formation.
Oh, fuck off. It's my new least favorite penalty. That and the freaking ineligible man downfield. The lineman beat the shit out of his guy. Like,
I'm still scarred from those. illegal shift or whatever those were against the Chiefs in week 1. But anyway.
That's also a disaster.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the fucking Ravens Chiefs game, like 7 of them or some shit. It's like, what the and then they get called for like none the rest of the year. I'm like, please just try and tell me the refs didn't have a vendetta. Please just say it to me so I can knock you the fuck out.
Lamar rushing touchdown, baby.
Okay, fuck yeah, love that. I need the Ravens offense to actually like do things. I didn't like in the parlay I did not pick a winner. I just picked props because I was like, I don't even want to touch this because the Chargers defense is good, whereas the Ravens is not. And then like, yeah, it's just one of those weird games.
Yep. I agree. But no, I what you were saying to kind of wrap up your thought about the pro athletes and their frustrations, like that's my exact thing with Joel Embiid. Like the man literally got to America because of basketball and has been doing that ever since. And his body is even failing him. And people want to make it sound like, oh, he doesn't want to play.
But it's like, do we not remember Greg Oden? Like, that's what kills me. That's what literally fucks me up so much. It's like, it's like Greg Oden literally, if his body was not just breaking and breaking, the guy literally would have died on that court to play. That was his level of passion. And he's still coaching. It's been so long since he played. He's still coaching. You know why? Because he loves the fucking game. And it just bothers me when you have these freaking just like 2 IQ clowns coming out here and shitting on these people. It's like, they're still people, dude. First off. And if you've never had a serious injury ever in your life, you can't even begin to fathom the mental effect that has on you. You cannot. It's not possible. Like, you tear your ACL. It's like, if you've never had crutches, had to rehab, had to have a surgery, like, just shut the fuck up. And if you're Joel Embiid, it's like, how many has he had? And he still wants to play. So many guys would have absolutely retired. They would have just been like, yeah, I can't.
Exactly.
And to then win an MVP after so many surgeries, like, I get the frustration now because there's so much like behind the scenes shit. And obviously, and I know Embiid's pissed right now because and if I was him, I would absolutely want to know who the fuck it was that leaked that Maxey thing. I would absolutely want to know. But it is, I get it. Like, I do get it. But what my hope, just for 2 seconds, my hope with Embiid is when he does, if he does this year, feel 100%, give us that.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what I mean? And if he doesn't, then I'll be a little pissed because it's like, all right, we heard all this shit, we heard all this noise, and now we're not seeing kind of what should match that energy. Right. If he gives us that, I will never hate the guy because his story is incredible. The amount of just off the court, non-basketball related hardships he's had to endure. Like, how many deaths in a family do you need before you decide I actually like mentally cannot?
Exactly.
It's just, yeah. And since we're just, for the 2 seconds that we're talking basketball, I'm just going to show the clip because I have it over here. And it just, I smiled so hard. It made me so happy. Let's see. Yep. Here we go. All right. So Alex and I are Sixers fans to a degree that our mental health will probably just completely deteriorate very, very soon.
Already been there.
Because this season is just ugly as fuck. But Jahmyr Gibbs, who I will cheer for this guy for my whole life because he's so, like, for a player so young to just have this level of humility and skill and just be such a likable guy and then be this good. It's just amazing. He grew up an Iverson fan. He showed up to this game wearing an AI jersey, and then proceeded to do the infamous celebration with Amon-Ra here. Absolutely nails it.
That's amazing.
It's just beautiful. Perfect execution, 10 out of 10. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, all right, dude, I liked you before. If I need to own a Lions jersey, which I kind of feel like I do,
They got nice jerseys.
they do. That I love. So my two favorite colors, like on earth, are dark reds, like burgundy, maroon-ish,
Mm-hmm.
and like a lighter blue. That's my two.
I got you.
So I'm like, I kind of.
So like Lions blue, Chargers powder blue.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of powder blue Phillies memorabilia I have is just not okay. Because it's such a good. But with that, like the Phillies are literally the perfect like amalgamation of it. It's like they literally had all burgundy and all powder, and it's like, thank you. Like I live here. This is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I look at Jahmyr Gibbs. Like the Lions are likable. Like I could wear that and be like, look, I'm not a fan of the team, but the people that are on the team, 10 out of 10. Like I have to cheer for my birds first, but yeah.
Everyone on that team is likable. They're
literally
just got a great team.
They've just but that's like part of what it takes to rebuild a franchise that has been down in the dumps for so long is the culture has to be rebuilt.
Right.
And you can't have bad eggs in there. Like you can't have any of these like negative influences that are going to leach into these other guys. And they have no negativity. It's all vibes. Always. And I mean, I saw a post where somebody just said David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are the best running back duo in NFL history, and they'll die on that hill. And I'm sitting here struggling to argue because you could have a really good lead back that puts up the crazy numbers and like a decent backup. These two are literally a duo. It's not like one or the other it's 1A, 1B.
Right.
And this is a special team to watch.
If we were still seeing last season Achane and Raheem Mostert, that would be the only.
Yeah, well, because that was like
Mostert
numbers.
was just ridiculously insane.
Yeah, and you kept looking at him like, "How old are you again?"
Exactly.
I think you're pretty old, dude. I don't know. You should be doing this.
But that brings us to the rest of our Week 12 thoughts, since we pretty much shared a good bit. But I do want to bring up, this is our Week 11 results. For those that might be new to the show, we did not record last week for some schedule reasons. So we had our Week 11 picks, which we both did quite well. I only had 4 wrong. You only had 2 wrong. So
I was cooking, boys. I was cooking.
Yep. We are now up to, I'm at 85 and 61. Tom, you are at 92 and 54 on the season. So
brother, I have what? There's 38 games? 38 games above 500. Let's go, son. Let's go.
We are up there.
It just feels nice because like I love football more than anything because as a game, I think it has so many different facets that make each individual matchup interesting.
Right.
Like, so the fact that I'm actually doing well at picks, I'm like, yay, because I do give a shit. Like, if it's basketball and I was doing picks, I'm like, I'm going to be horrendous because I love the sport, but I don't know enough still because it is another game that has its little nuances. Football, though, it's like, I feel like I understand it. Like, I played it. So even from like a player's perspective, I was like, you know what I mean? Like if I sucked at this, I would be kind of sad. But I'm just, this is half of why this has been so fun is like we get to talk about it, which is awesome. You and I get to reconnect, which is awesome. But then it's just a love of competitive like mediums. And obviously oh god, I just checked basketball scores because I'm like, let's see what's going on in the NBA real quick. The Celtics are just gonna, holy brother, do yourself a favor and look at the Celtics second quarter. Holy crap.
Yeah, when we first started recording, I think I saw the Celtics had 11 threes in the second quarter.
They had 51 points.
I think it was 11 threes in
Oh my
just the
gosh.
second quarter. Or maybe
Impressive.
it was 7. I don't remember. But Peyton Pritchard is 6 of 9 from 3.
6 of 9.
Yeah.
Let's remove that. Let's go ahead and remove that little slash there and be some cheesy little children.
Exactly.
I had a notebook with my bets on it, and now I can't find it, and I'm upset.
Pritchard and Derek White combined are 10 of 15 from 3-point.
How short is Pritchard's hair? Because I was about to be like, let's go baldies.
He doesn't have long hair.
Okay. W.
I think he just has a white boy buzz cut. Yeah.
Oh, so like, all right, hold on. So like,
Yes. Actually, almost exactly the same. Hold on.
the DIY in my own bathroom with my own trimmers special because I'm a cheap ass bastard and I don't pay for haircuts. How you doing?
I mean, I do the same thing because I barely have any hair anymore. So, this is his picture.
There's some similarities between himself and I. He has no facial hair, which
No,
unfortunate, but yeah.
always been a baby face. That's for sure.
Yeah, and he will forever be, I think.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think if you showed him a razor, he'd be like scared.
He'd be like, "What's that for?"
I have no need for that accessory.
But so week 12 of the NFL was pretty stupid, to be honest.
Amen.
This is what we've had working with the Steelers lose to the Browns, which was just the game. Honestly, was crazy with how much it snowed. People are dubbing it the snow globe game because of how crazy and swirling the snow was as the game progressed.
I think what the most wild part of it though was like if you time lapsed it, like it was like a 10-minute period where you could see green and then it was just fucking covered. Like it was so quick that it actually covered the field.
And they had to keep like shoveling out like the boundaries of the end zone.
Yeah. And you're just like, I hope they're getting paid enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that job absolutely sucks. And don't pretend for a second that it doesn't.
Exactly. We all hated shoveling driveways. There's no way you enjoy shoveling that every 5 seconds.
Can I ask, why is Vegas always like right? By the way, I have to ask that. The over-under on the Hornets Magic game tonight was like, it felt so low to me. It was 213. And I looked at like all their scores from all their games leading into this and checked like the lineups to see, all right, who's hurt that would fully affect this. And it was the same lineups. And they were so correct. It's unbelievable. Like the total in the game right now with 57 seconds left is 170 points. I
can actually tell you why.
It's wild.
Jalen Suggs did get ruled out pretty close to game time.
Okay, that would
for one. For two, the Magic in general are just injured like crazy.
I know, but like that was my initial thought. And I was like, all right, that's fully, I get it. And like on RotoWire, the Hornets had like 8 players out. So I was like, I get it. But in the last, I think 5 games, that over would have been cleared like easy in the Magic games. Obviously, Suggs being out, totally get it. They're still up by 10, which is crazy. I look at the Hornets, I'm like, okay, you're telling me LaMelo has 42, 9, and 7, and you're losing by 10. What? LaMelo's going like God mode, and there's nobody at all that is on that team that can help.
Outside of LaMelo and Brandon Miller, there's literally just like Taj Gibson is starting for the Hornets in the year 2024.
That dude, I would have thought he was like retired for 6 years owning a bunch of like Chick-fil-A franchises.
Do you want to guess what year he was drafted? (2009), which is just insane. I
Ladies
don't know
and
if
gentlemen, I have a brain. Sorry.
no, I was just saying. At first, I was. Did you hear me? What year he was drafted?
No, go ahead.
Do you want to take a guess?
09.
That's actually spot on.
Bang. Let's go.
He was the 26th overall pick in 09 to the Bulls.
Yeah, well, I all right. So there's oh my god. So this is a pun my friend and I had for the I think 2014 draft class in the NFL was Taj Boyd out of Clemson. And we would just like anytime you pulled his card out of a box of cards, you were just like, fuck. Like if it was his autograph, you're like, I don't want this because he was so bad.
Right.
And it was just can't dodge a Taj. And literally, like you would find Taj Gibson's like vet autos in NBA products, and you're like, it's worth. It would be worth more if I pissed on it. Like it literally. But I remember that in like those in like 13 and 14, and they were already like veteran autos. I'm like, yeah, okay, so he's been around a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, the fact that they have to start him is just absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys they really desperately need to have back.
For sure.
ASAP.
But yeah, Cleveland beating Pittsburgh was pretty surprising. Pittsburgh, the defense was doing fine for the most part, and then the offense was just completely stagnant for a lot of the game. I'm glad Nick Chubb at least started to look a little bit better in this game. I hope he continues to do so throughout the season. But the two games that
Here we go.
actually, I'd say three.
I'd say 3. I hope you stopped and said 3 because of the Chiefs Panthers one.
Yes. Yes.
So, all right, I will fully say this on the air because for some reason I just had I'm so mad my parlay didn't hit, by the way, because I had some fucking reads in this thing that were just money. I had the Panthers plus 4.5.
Damn.
I took them at a like way altered spread because I was like, this game is not going to be a blowout,
Right.
and it fucking wasn't. And I'm so
real quick. Dobbins just went back to the locker room.
Fuck. Not against the Ravens.
I know.
No. All right. Well, he's walking under. Is it concussion protocol then? Because he's walking under his own power, no assistance or anything.
To be fair, I'm not sure because I don't have the sound on.
I really hope he's fine, man. He's
But
having
I also
he's
hope
having
he's good.
such an amazing comeback year.
I know.
So the way the Chiefs have just been eking out wins all fucking year will continue to bother me until they make the playoffs and get fucking steamrolled by a team that is way better than them, because the Chiefs are not. Zay Flowers breaking into the open field. Let's go.
I know. That's what I was just reacting to.
Hell yeah. So to me, I look at this game and I go, that's a phenomenal game by a Panthers team that has had some struggles. They've had 2 wins in a row going into this game. Bryce Young is playing with some happiness, and I literally could not be happier for a single player in the NFL. Like, the smile on his face is so beautiful because that man has been through so much in such a short time. The Chiefs, if anybody's out there, like, I know the Chiefs in the playoffs become different. They are going to get shit on by somebody. And I don't care if that gets like clickbaited. They're going to get demolished by somebody. And I hope it's Buffalo. I hope it's finally Buffalo in the playoffs that gets to just tell them to fuck off. We don't want to see them anymore.
The 2 teams I hope it is Buffalo or the Ravens. One of the 2.
100%. So I look at the Panthers and I'm like, hell of a game by you. Great job competing, coming back every single time. Phenomenal. And if you're the Chiefs, you look at if you're just going to sit back and look at the records, they have to be embarrassed about that. and I hope they feel as embarrassed as possible because at some you know what the Chiefs remind me of, and this is the best thing I can say. They remind me of last year's Eagles. Oh, all right, I'm staring. I'm looking. You're ahead of me, so don't say shit because I want to see.
Holy shit.
Oh,
That catch.
okay, Rashad. Let's go.
With Fulton literally on top of him, still catches the touchdown.
I had Bateman over like 40 yards. He just got that on one play.
I know, I'm
Sick.
kind of fucked because I'm playing against him in like multiple leagues that I need him to not do well, but
Yeah, but it's your team, so who fucking cares?
exactly.
Love that. Dude, oh my God. Yeah, that's a disgusting catch.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, because Christian Fulton's not a pushover.
No, not at all. That was actually back-to-back pass interferences that Bateman drew on Fulton too.
7-on-7 violence. I think the number one game we have to talk about, because there's the Titans one we'll get into. The Cowboys went into Washington and beat the Commanders.
True. I just want to say real quick for the Panthers, I had to double take at the receiving leader because I was like, wait, DJ Moore. And then I was like, oh, David Moore.
Good old keyword old David Moore.
Exactly.
He out here. All right. So I made a point of watching the highlights of Cowboys Commanders because I was at my family's Thanksgiving. So I was only able to see like the game cast on ESPN. So you just see all this text and you're like, okay, this is even just text. You're like, what the fuck is happening? But what a weird game. And it bothers me that ESPN, when you open this up, doesn't say 2 TDs, 2 interceptions next to Jaden Daniels. Like, he did not have a good game. And it kind of blows my mind because I'm like, the Cowboys defense hasn't been able to do a fucking thing all year against solid teams, right? And just the ending of this game is wild, right? So you hit McLaurin on this just like insane play. You score the touchdown. It's 27-26. You have an extra point to kick. This shit's going to OT. And he fucking bricks it. And I would throw up. I would just vomit if the Eagles did that, like actually everywhere. And then you have to then go for the onside kick because the game should be tied, but it's not. And not only do you not get it, they return it for a touchdown. It's just levels of insanity. I mean, you look at that score sheet, right? It's 3-3 at half. It's 10-9 going into the fourth. 24-17 is a whole fucking game.
Yeah.
And that happened in the fourth quarter. Yeah. So Washington now is on back-to-back divisional losses. One that kind of makes sense to the Eagles because the Eagles are absolutely rolling. And one that makes zero fucking sense because Dallas can't beat shit. But Dallas can win on the road. They can't win at home, but they can win on the road. That's the only part of this that makes sense. But it is wild. Like Cooper Rush had a phenomenal game. I think he only had 8 incompletions to 26 completions, I believe. 26-34, I think, is his final numbers. But
I think so.
He played great. It re-exposed Washington's god-awful secondary, 24-32. So it was just 2 less on each one. But yeah. Did Lattimore play in this game? Can you scroll down to like defense and see if he had a tackle? Because I'm very curious on that. If he played, then I'm going to be a little surprised. I don't see his name anywhere, so maybe he did not play again. And obviously, that's kind of like a big deal because you trade for him. He's clearly secondary was the obvious position to need for Washington. Going into the season and the trade deadline, they made a move for it, and he hasn't played yet, which they will look better when he does. I'll just say that right now.
Oh, yeah. I just looked up the injury report, said he was out.
Got it. All right. But it is like if I'm Washington, I'm sick. I'm
Oh,
absolutely
I agree.
sick.
If I'm Washington, like, look, our offense has been, rolling all year, minus like maybe 2 games. You're going up against a division opponent after losing to another one that like everyone is expecting you to beat because of how bad their defense has been. And the running backs outside of obviously Jaden Daniels, like McNichols and Eckler, 22 each. Brian Robinson
And
Jr. had some injury issues. He left, came back, left again.
but I
But
said
like,
that literally is exactly what I was going to go to
yeah. And it's
because
like running backs have destroyed Dallas for most of the season.
yeah. but you look at these numbers, right? And you're like, okay, if you're just going off first glance, you didn't watch the whole game start to finish. You would think in your head, all right, why did McNichols not get more carries?
Right.
Right? Because his like long rush was 13. That still leaves 9 yards, which is 4.5 per carry, which would have been better than all the other starting running backs. So
Right.
you have to sit here and go, okay, like in my head, and I know this is not how it works, which is just kind of weird to me, but like in my head, you use the players that are doing the best, right? Eckler clearly was not getting it done anywhere. He had 2 catches for 2 fucking yards, which is impressive as hell in all the wrong ways, and 9 carries for 22 for 2.4 a carry. It's just like there's no chance in hell that he couldn't have been utilized better. McNichols couldn't have been utilized better. I mean, receiver wise, you obviously a good handful of guys put in work. He had 6 catches by 2 guys, 5 by McLaurin. Obviously, bulk of his yards. Actually, that's crazy. You remove that 1 catch for 86. He had 4 catches for 16.
Yeah.
Which is like what? What are those routes? I just don't understand. And
The
just
offensive game plan was kind of confusing from the start for Washington.
And that's what I mean. It's like such a weird shift from what we've seen so far.
Right.
From them. Like they've had such balance and success in so many different areas. And even against the Eagles, they found success in a lot of ways. Eckler fucking feasted against the Eagles, even in a loss. So it's just very strange to see this kind of performance.
The other game to me that was, I mean, you brought up the Titans, which was a pretty crazy game, but also the Vikings and Bears.
Yeah.
Was just actually ridiculous. Caleb Williams had a great game, to be honest.
Yeah.
And like Minnesota was up, like if going into the fourth quarter, Minnesota was up 24-10. And then Chicago hangs 17 points in the fourth quarter. And Caleb Williams, I mean, 32 for 47, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. The running backs in this one also didn't do anything. Swift had 13 carries for 30 yards. And Roshan had 2 carries for 2 yards.
And I don't understand how that's actually physically possible. I literally it comes from a position of being an Eagles fan where truth is no matter what back the Eagles have back there behind this O-line, they're going to do well. But you have a guy like Saquon now where you combine those two kind of like special things and it's amazing.
Right.
Swift was an Eagle last year. He broke 1,000 yards. Like, how on earth do you get 13 carries and only get 30 yards?
Right.
That's like, how bad is their fucking offensive line, man? I know it's bad because Caleb's gotten hit 1,000 trillion times this year, but
oh yeah,
Jesus Christ!
And you look at Cam Akers on the other side as the backup, getting 3 carries and he had 19 yards.
On that average, you give him 2 more. He had Swift beat on 5.
Oh yeah,
8 less carries. It's just like insane. But I look at the receiving for Chicago, and I'm like, that's what we should literally be fucking seeing every week, based on
100% agree.
What that core is, like 7, 9, 7, 5, and then you get I mean, credit to Swift. He had 35 receiving. Good job. 30 was obviously at 30 on one of them. So that
Right.
bumps the average, but that's what matters, right? I mean, it's just, and then weird, it's just weird dichotomy of a game. You go across to the other side, and yes, you do have 344 receiving yards, but it was to Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson had 2 catches for 27 yards.
And he only had 5 targets. So I'm like, all right, I guess like what's homie's name on Chicago secondary? Johnson? Is that his name?
Oh, Jalen Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, he must have been clamping.
It's on here somewhere, I thought.
Watch him not even have played, and then it's insane. Yeah, he must not have even played. There's no way he had no tackles in an entire football game. I refuse to believe that.
Or
So-
no passes defense.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm like,
look
okay.
at Byard with 13 tackles.
Yeah, where was that last year, asshole? Anyway. And Tremaine Edmonds. They're both fucking... And TJ Edwards. The top 3 were literally former Eagles. I don't even care. Our defense is better. But it's just like... It's just... Yeah, I'm
The
glad
injury
you brought
report
this...
does not say he was out, by the way.
Okay, so maybe he literally just never... the ball was never thrown anywhere near him whatsoever for him to even attempt to hit somebody.
Yeah, I guess
Which I guess is fine. But it's... Yeah. I'm glad you brought this up because I actually didn't realize this game was this weird. I knew it was weird.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was this weird.
Yeah, this game was very weird. And Keenan, like, I'm hyped for Keenan Allen. 9 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Like
15 targets is insane, by the way, for a football game. Like, that's
especially when you consider DJ Moore only had 7, but he caught all 7.
Yeah, which that's a credit to both Williams and DJ Moore.
Right.
Which is great. Obviously, like we want to see that going forward, but yeah. 162, 9 targets, 8 catches for Jordan Addison. He just fucking went berserk. And he had a long of 69. Let's go, my boy.
Heyo. Jalen Naylor caught another touchdown. He's up to a career high. I believe it's 5 receiving touchdowns this season.
Let's go, homie. You had 5 yards, but you made the end zone. Proud of you.
He only has 17 receptions this year.
It's 5
are touchdowns.
One every 3.2. You're gonna be fine, bud. You're having a good time. Now that the Texans Titans one was like, all right, so it's like surprising, but it's not based on the trends of how things have been going for Houston recently. Because the one thing that
looked awful,
he looked terrible. But that's what I mean. He's having like it is a full-on official sophomore slump. His year is bad. And I know he was missing Nico for a few games, but he had him back here and took an L at home. So credit to Will Levis, 75% completion percentage. He's guaranteed to throw a pick, so of course he had one, but that's fine. He found Westbrook-Ikine again.
Did you see his head down sprint when he threw the interception?
Just fully unplugged phones. We're back.
Did you see his head down sprint when he threw the interception?
Oh my god. Tell me this motherfucker Naruto ran into an interception.
I'll look for the clip while you're talking.
So like I look at this game. You had a good performance by the Texans or by the Titans, obviously. Like Pollard absolutely balled. 24 carries, 119, average of 6, and a TUD. That's fantastic. Like if you can get that out of Pollard any game, you're definitely going to be in a much better position to win. The 18 total receptions though is crazy because you look at it, you're like Ridley had a 63, Okonkwo had a 70. He had 1 catch for 70 fucking yards and a touchdown. Westbrook-Ikine finds the end zone for the 2nd week in a row. But then you look over at Houston and you're like, you guys literally seemed like you could beat anybody. Mixon last week looked like God. And then this week he has 1.6 or 8 yards per carry because I can't squint that hard. Like, what happened? Literally what happened? And I know the Titans, the one thing the Titans have had all year is a defense and an incompetent offense that can't like give them the points they need. they finally did now, and this is what it looks like. And Houston's got a lot of mirror looking to do, man. I don't know what to feel with this because we know they're well coached. Players just are not given the performances that we're used to. Oh my God, bro. This dude cannot be real. This dude legitimately cannot be a real person.
Oh my God.
I refuse to believe that this man is in fact a man. He has to be a cyborg program to just troll us every week.
I thought he was gonna run headfirst into the ref.
I wish he had just stayed in that until he hit a wall because he couldn't see. Like that would have been just brother. Yeah. Wait. This dude is the one man meme machine. I just cannot believe it.
Oh my God.
Why is he like this?
Nobody knows.
Throws that
Nobody
shit
knows.
right to a Texan, and then it's just like, well, I fucked up, and just puts his head down and is like, if I can't look, it didn't happen. Like, holy crap.
But let's move on here to the power rankings.
Well, this one's easy. Wherever the fuck Houston is, moving the fuck down.
True.
ASAP.
That's very true. I think it's this one. Yep. So, with that being said, we will move Houston down to mid.
Immediately.
I will honestly move the Ravens down to playoff team at this moment because of last week. They are, however, winning right now 14-13 at halftime against the Chargers. But I'm going to keep them there for now. We have to move the Dolphins up.
Yep.
Would you move them to mid or ass is the question.
I say mid.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine with me. I think
Stop whispering.
I think
No.
that we give the Panthers and the Panthers fans, I think we give them a little bit of a break. I think we give the Panthers a new life in the ass category instead of super ass.
I'm in. I'm fully in. 2 wins in a row, and they almost beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I'm definitely in.
I don't even care. Put the Jets in the fucking bottom. And the Titans can move up.
Even get to move.
Yeah, I just that franchise needs to burn.
I'll move the Titans up for a week.
I don't want to move the Cowboys. We kind of have to, don't we?
Nah.
No, okay, cool. Sick.
Do we move the Browns up one though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you and I said all year, if Jameis had been starting from the beginning, they would not be where they are.
I agree.
And it's so evident. Like it is brutally obvious from literally the first drive of the season that they were better off with Jameis, and they've just been like infinitely better. So
here's one though. Do we move Washington down?
I was gonna if not them, Arizona definitely has to fucking move.
I would kind of put both of them.
And then Seattle can move up because I think 2 wins in a row against their own division. I Seattle leading the division now, right?
I think they are. Let me just double check
So
real quick.
if that is our criteria, because that division's so close, we've been shifting them the most. Seattle has to be the playoff team for that division because the records are all.
They are tied for first with Arizona at 6-5.
I think we have to put
I
Seattle
think they
above
have.
Arizona then, right?
Well, what's the tie-breaking procedure? Because it has.
Well, do
It
they
says
play?
Arizona's 2-1 in the division and Seattle's 2-2, but it has Seattle above Arizona.
I don't even know, man. I just want Seattle above Arizona because Arizona just disappoints us regularly for no
They
reason.
disappoint me literally all the fucking time.
And that's why I'm like, they're not even because Seattle beat them in my head. You know what I mean?
I'll put them up there.
Yeah, just
I think we moved San Fran down, to be honest with you.
they're just in a spiral. We don't have enough
Christian
teams.
McCaffrey didn't even look all that good last week. Or
We
this
don't have
week,
enough
I mean.
teams in ass, and that is frustrating.
Um,
How do you feel about Denver moving up? How do you feel about that?
I actually feel pretty good about that, to be honest.
They've been doing some things. Yeah.
I would
I
definitely
like-
move them up. I think they're winning their division, aren't they?
Let's put Pittsburgh in playoff.
Oh, wait,
'cause
they're the Chiefs division. What am I talking about?
yeah, but they're wild card hunting for sure. And Bo Nix is playing out of his fucking mind.
Yeah. Sorry, who did you say before that?
I say Pittsburgh move down one for at least a week until they show us that they can consistently beat the teams they're supposed to beat, right? I don't give a shit about whether it's going to be winter when the playoffs happen.
True.
That's when the weather is. If you can't overcome shit weather, then don't even try. And for
That's a
George
good
Pickens to literally go on that rant, oh, the snow did it. Okay. The Browns had to also deal with the snow and they beat you. So
I love that he got in another fight.
of course he did. And I was just we were just waiting for it. There's you're guaranteed one crash out per week. I like our Super Bowl contenders because as much as I think the Chiefs are frauds, it's like there's two teams really that are going to beat them, and a healthy
Yeah.
Chargers could have beat them,
Probably.
but we didn't get it. So
I would move the Falcons down.
okay, fair.
Like,
But it's
obviously, I know one of them has to be a playoff team, but it could just be a mid-off until one of them
Yeah.
finally makes the playoffs.
because
If I had to bet on it, I would bet the Buccaneers win that division, even though
So would
they
I.
are
so would
a
I.
game back.
No, I would too. I think
Yeah,
they're better. I do think the Bucks are better.
I just, I
The
just
Falcons
saw
should be better, but they're not.
I just saw Carolina's point diff.
Oh, it's an atrocity.
It's negative 146.
They started off what was week 1? The Saints fucking demolition.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact,
that was like minus
They're-
40 in 1 week.
they're negative 146. The Saints are +2. And the Saints are only one game ahead.
I love that so much.
And also,
Because
The
week 1 and 2, they
Falcons-
won like 94 to like what, 15? Like it was just stupid.
yeah, the Falcons are in first in the division with a negative 30 point diff,
Oh my god.
while Tampa Bay has +36.
And have a
And-
losing record.
Mathematically, the Panthers are only 3 games back from winning the division.
Bryce Young, I need you to make it happen, my guy.
If they made the playoffs,
I don't care what it takes. Make it happen, my guy, please.
that would be absolute insanity.
It would be the greatest turnaround the NFL will ever see.
Oh, 1000%.
Period. Like it would not. They would make it with a like negative 80 point diff. Like literally.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not switching that around. But they can string some wins together, then Jesus.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm moving the Patriots down.
Okay, that's fine.
They looked
Um,
absolutely hopeless in that game last week.
Yeah. Ramondre was like invisible.
Yeah.
Some
Their
receivers had
offensive
decent
line
games,
is
but
so bad.
like even with Drake May heroics, they're not gonna be able to do anything.
Exactly.
Because he was trying, and credit to him, but it was to no avail.
Yep.
The Rams can stay because, to be honest, it was a Saquon game. Like they put up 20 points against the number 1 defense currently in the NFL.
Yeah, they played a respectable game.
Yeah. So and with that, the way that division is, I just don't see any reason to move them.
Right.
I think I like what this is at right now because the 4 teams that we have at the top are the teams that feel like if you had to sit back and go, who's going to make it? You would probably pick from them.
Right.
Like it would take one of those kind of playoff upsets to get them out of there.
Oh, yeah.
but then that the playoff team tier, it's like those are teams that are capable of those sort of upsets at the moment.
Agreed. If
Like-
if that was how the AFC and NFC championship games were, they'd be pretty entertaining.
Oh, they'd be very highly viewed.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I mean, Eagles Lions would go hard.
Oh yeah. And then obviously Chiefs Bills with the whole rivalry and Josh Allen versus Mahomes. That'd be pretty crazy. But I think I'm pretty happy with what we got.
I am too, because I don't think any team needs to be anywhere different.
Yep.
At like because did we move the Titans fully out of that basement?
Yeah, we did. We moved them up one.
So exactly. Like they're still ass. Their record is a fucking abomination. And Will Levis week to week is like, you have no idea what he is going to give you. He will give you a meme, but you don't know what he's going to play like. But
it's like, are you going to give us Jimmy Garoppolo or are you going to give us Daniel Jones?
Well, is he going to give it? Actually, even better. Is he going to give us Raiders Jimmy G?
Right.
Where it's like
San Fran Jimmy G or Raiders Jimmy G?
Yeah, because if it's Raiders Jimmy G, he's going to throw to like the fucking line judge holding the goddamn sticks. he had black and white on, I swear.
He had our same colors.
I thought. That's right. We're the Raiders. The refs have never been on our side. Damn.
That's why he didn't have a helmet on.
Oh man.
God. Anyway, so we will throw up real quick here. Let's jump into our picks real fast before either one of us falls asleep.
I'm gonna be up late playing COD because I'm an idiot, but it's my own.
Tired as fuck.
It's my own doing. No, I'm like loopy because this.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I blame this.
I'm also
sorry,
tired
everybody. 7 viewers is the highest we've had. If you leave immediately, that's fine. But thank you for stopping in for even half a second. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you to everybody.
So
Seriously.
Alex on the year is 85 and 61. I am 92 and 54. We're both doing very respectable jobs, in my opinion, compared to the pundits out there that are just like, well, I think it's going to be this because. So
we're all gonna pick this one team because we're stupid.
We have these beautiful graphics, and if we make them all match, we'll feel special. So,
and we're gonna pick random scores that mean fucking nothing. Oh, the Bengals are gonna win 23-21. What?
Every score will be close because we can't possibly fathom that a game will be a blowout, even though it's really obvious on paper. And we don't want to disrespect a franchise in any way. God forbid we're honest. So Thanksgiving games, we got 3 of them. Obviously, Detroit and Dallas, the guaranteed playing. Yes, you can go ahead and copy paste that. The Lions, if they lose on Thanksgiving with the year they're having, I am going to be really upset for the city of Detroit because they should be having a really good time on a really lovely family holiday, and I don't want it to get ruined by the Bears.
Agreed. I will say, though, the Bears, I think, will make this an interesting game. More interesting than we originally would have expected.
I agree. I still think Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery will probably combine for like 4 tuds. I don't know how the Lions lose this game because the Bears, although they show us flashes of solid football, even in this past week, there were plenty of flashes of solid football. They still lost. And now they're on the road in who is arguably the best team in the NFC's house. I just don't see it. So
agreed.
This next one, I have based on the previous week's performances, we're going to go ahead and go for the Dallas Cowboys. Tommy DeVito fucking sucks. I don't care. He had what? Two or three good games last year, and the whole city went nuts because they had nothing to fucking cheer for otherwise. They're a travesty.
I'm taking the Giants.
Okay, good. We have a flip flop. I am legitimately going to say that Trayvon Diggs has a pick 6. and Parsons has 3 sacks.
I think
a forced
Trayvon
fumble.
Diggs will still have a pick 6 because it won't be the side with the sun.
True. Oh, how
But it's
fun would
at
that
Dallas,
be? Dallas
which is
will win.
why I'm picking the Giants.
I mean, I get it, but they have to win one eventually, man. They gotta. They're the only pro sports team in North America that hasn't won a home game in this calendar year, dude. They gotta win one eventually.
For my own selfish sake, I hope they don't. But
same, but like, I mean, even though I picked them, I don't care. I would laugh so hard, but
that would be great.
Jerry's going to be up there drinking water out of a freaking cheap ass bottle, even though he's worth more than God, and he's going to be eating a turducken. And I think it's
with more metal pieces falling off of the stadium.
CeeDee Lamb for 2 hundo and 2 tuds. Come on, eventually it's got to happen.
They're going to come out in this game, and Malik Nabers is going to get 20 targets.
Literally, because he can play, and they'll still lose, and it'll be like, what do you mean? This next one is spicy. This game,
I like Miami at Green Bay. I like this. This
has got so much potential to just be a shootout for the ages.
Based on pure gut vibes, I'm going Miami.
I also am going Miami.
Ooh, okay.
Because I just yes, Josh Jacobs was insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's doing that against Miami. I
don't think so either.
I want to check something real fast because I let me see. So we're gonna go.
Miami's actually had a pretty sneaky decent defense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And people just don't think about it because of how bad their offense has been until Tua got back and started getting into the groove again.
But if we're literally discussing run defense alone, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just key on that. I know it's the Patriots, but it is Ramondre Stevenson. They have Antonio Gibson, and Drake May is a good running quarterback. They had 86 total rushing yards against Miami. I mean, Ramondre had 13, bruv. And I can't look at any running back and be like, yeah, you're going to be perfectly consistent. Joe Mixon had 3 tuds last week and over 100 yards. He had fucking nothing this week.
Damn.
And if I'm just going to go on just full, let's just pick that kind of game difference.
Right.
It's going to be this one. And Green Bay is just, they're not consistent either. And we know they're not. Jordan Love is guaranteed to pick a week. At least he has been all year. I don't know if did he throw one this week? This is finally his first game without one. It is. It's his first game without a pick.
Oh yeah.
Proud of you, big guy. He's going to throw one this week, though. Trust me. So, yeah,
probably
Miami. I just think that they're riding a high with Tua. Tua's playing fucking insane. Yeah, it'll be close though. It'll be close. 32-29 kind of deal, high scoring, but close.
I could see that for sure. I mean, I'm definitely going to be interested to tune into this game.
If Desmond Ridder beats the Chiefs, I'm going to lol.
That would be hilarious. I mean, I just, in good faith, even though I want the Chiefs to lose, I'm going to have to pick them because it's the Raiders.
We got it.
And this is the Black Friday game, by the way, for those. Oh, my bad.
Ooh.
For those that are wondering, it is the Black Friday game. That one is on Prime. So
the Raiders are probably legitimately wearing all black too. They're gonna look fly as fuck. Yeah. They're gonna look fly as hell and lose by 50. That is
look
a shame.
Good, play bad.
Yep. Desmond Ridder actually threw for negative yards. Dude.
That brings us to Chargers Falcons. This is easy for me. I'm picking the Chargers right away.
That's also easy for me. Even though we're watching this game, the Chargers are losing. Their defense is still very impressive. They've had a few miscues tonight and a good catch by Rashad Bateman. That's the difference in tonight's game so far. So, yeah.
And it's also the offense has the ability to take off at any point.
Yeah. And it is literally a point of we're watching Lamar Jackson right now versus this defense. That's a hell of a fucking lot better than Kirk Cousins. versus this defense. So, yeah. I don't care. It's in
Oh,
Atlanta at all. This next one, I need to check the weather on this game. That's what I need to do. I'm going to take Cincinnati. I'm just going to fire it. I'm taking Cincinnati. They're healthy.
Ooh.
They're putting up points. And I need to believe that they have a hunger for this one more than any that they've had all year.
Forecast is 28 degrees, but sunny.
I'm sticking.
That's cold as fuck. Fuck
That is-
that.
That's not fun. That is not fun at all. Imagine
I'm taking the Steelers.
that's fine. We need some differences.
And I feel like Tomlin will have them ready to go for a bounce back game after a pretty embarrassing loss to Cincinnati. And it does seem like all of them are pissed off about the loss, which I think is good for like the team to be pissed off about that.
Well, Pickens is just he's always pissed off. He wants to just fight.
True.
He literally
Pickens is pissed off at life.
dude literally is just assault and battering a corner a game for no reason.
If there was ever anyone that was Black Air Force energy,
Dude.
it is George Pickens.
Yeah, his helmet should literally have like on the blank side should just have a Black Air Force, just so you know what you're dealing with.
God.
All right. This next one. All right.
This next one is harder than I would expect it to be.
I'm assuming you're gonna go Minnesota because you hate Arizona so much.
Here's the thing, though. I picked Arizona a bunch to start the season,
I know, but
and
they've
that's
let you
when they
down
lost.
so many times. So here was my logic going into this one because they just played like utter dog shit, and Minnesota should be heavy favorites. That's why I want to take Arizona.
I see.
Like that's why, and because Arizona's done that this year, though. Like,
right.
They've had games where you're like, yeah, they should absolutely win this, and then they just don't even show up.
Right.
And then games where you're like, there's no way they win this. They're in it the whole fucking time. Even if they lose, it's close. Like the Bills game to start the season was like they should have won it. They gave it away. So, and Minnesota has just like since their bye has not looked anything nearly like they did with their 5-0 start. So
that's true. And the Cardinals defense has improved greatly since the beginning of the year.
And I have got to fucking believe that Trey McBride will at some point find the end zone. Because if he doesn't, I would be like, get me the fuck out of here. The dude is like, he has so many receptions and receiving yards, and none of them are near the end zone. It's just like, what does a guy got to do to get a play call just to feel that? I'm you know what? Fuck it. If I screw my record up, I don't give a shit. I'm taking the Cardinals.
Okay. I'm trying to look up something here.
I'm going to say Kyler Murray for 278, 3 tuds. And I'll say Darnold has like 2 picks. God.
Darnold will probably throw a pick.
Can we just appreciate for a second how fucking good Justin Herbert is, dude?
Oh, yeah. Justin Herbert is...
This play,
phenomenal.
Wiggins on a corner rush, and he just steps up, takes 2 steps, fires a sidearm absolute laser. Just like no hesitation, immediate. Lad McConkey for like a 20-yard gain. Just incredible. This next game is the worst game I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. For those listening and maybe not watching, by the way, I took the Vikings on that one. I just don't like Arizona away from home right now.
Which is fully understandable from my perspective, too, because it's like, but they are literally that like Jack in the Box, right?
Yeah.
But you have zero clue what the hell's going to come out of it week to week.
They're that team that wins the ones they're not supposed to, but loses the ones they are supposed to win.
And that's why I'm looking at this one like I'm going to take them because they should fucking definitely not win in Minnesota, True. But maybe they will. Maybe they will.
But yeah, I agree about the next game. Colt at Patriots. This is terrible television.
I'm taking New England because I think Anthony
Okay.
Richardson is just tragic. I'm sorry. And Indy's defense is also tragic. So Drake May will definitely have a bounce back week. So will Ramondre. So will Antonio Gibson. Like it's in Foxborough. It's going to be cold as shit. Like it always is. So if Anthony Richardson has over a 50% completion percentage in that game, I'll be shook.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the Patriots in that one too. I just can't trust the Colts in general. So fuck it. I'm taking the Patriots.
Do we even need to mention this next one? For those that can't see, Seattle's logo is being placed on the screen because we fucking hate the New York Jets. And by that, I mean we hate the owner and we hate Aaron Rodgers. So
and now they're searching for a new GM by using their old GM and another ex-GM to study analytics to find the next GM.
No, they're going Moneyball. Okay, good. Yeah. The Jets are we shit on the Giants. The Jets are the worst dumpster fire we've ever seen. Like they are.
At least the Giants have had success within the past 10 to 20 years.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, you know what they did? They made the playoffs.
Right.
2 years ago.
Right.
Let's find me a Jets playoff game and let's analyze how they did. Yeah. This next one I like because I like defense.
Tennessee and Washington.
Washington is kind of in a little bit of a slide.
Yeah, they are.
And if Jaden cannot mentally get himself back to the confidence level that he had before the Eagles game, he is going to struggle in this one. I'm actually going to pick Tennessee. And I may regret that if Lattimore actually plays in this one, but I like Tennessee's defense is so good and they are so let down by their offense, but Washington's weakness is their defense. Like, true. And that's where I'm like, okay, Pollard is up, and that's the other thing too. I'm like, Pollard is very familiar and successful against Washington.
That's a good point.
They can feed him a lot. Same with you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, let's just take the risk. I like having fun with this. And the Titans that was a tough win. Going into Houston has not been easy, even though Stroud's not playing as good as last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's never easy. So yeah, this next one,
Washington, just because I think that they will look better after an embarrassing type of game against Dallas for pretty much the whole game.
Agreed.
The one big thing though will be Brian Robinson Jr.'s health as well. If he's not healthy, that doesn't make me feel good about their chances. But yeah, I mean, the thing with Washington is even though they've lost their last few games, they lost to the Steelers by 1. They lost to the Eagles by 8. And then they lost to Dallas by 8. So, they're not big losses despite looking bad.
Yeah.
And Washington is apparently, according to ESPN Bet, is a 6.5 point favorite.
Which makes me laugh because I'm just like, the NFL to me, you have to follow the trends.
Right.
And the most recent performances. And it's like the Eagles game, they played well. The Eagles they're one of the hottest teams in the league, if not the hottest. So you're like, okay, you played them tight. We knew it would be tight. It's divisional. I get it. But then to lose to Dallas at home to me is just too far in the opposite direction of expectations that I'm like, we'll see.
Right.
And if B-Rob is out, that's obviously a big fucking deal. Because he is he is absolutely their first, second down, and third down. Like he's the guy they want to hand the ball off to. Eckler's more of a receiving back, and he always has been great at that. So yeah, that one will be that is one of the coin flip games in my head though. It could go any way based on a lot of factors. This next one,
Houston at Jacksonville.
Houston on the road, man.
I just think if there's ever a game to get back on track, it's
now.
got to be Jacksonville.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'll take Houston with you because it's like they have to get back on track. This is one of those games. It's like you have to circle this and be like, it's divisional, so it has more meaning anyway. Even though they're so far ahead, it's like it doesn't matter. Like that's irrelevant, right? Like the rest of the division struggles should be irrelevant. Like these are the games you have to win. Any single season, you win your divisional games. So yeah, I fully on board.
Yeah, and it's like even though it's an away game, the Jaguars haven't been good at home. They're 2-3 at home. So like, and I don't know. Is Trevor Lawrence may not play? He's considered questionable at this very second.
Yeah, and if it's Mac Jones, there's no fucking chance.
Tank Bigsby also considered questionable. So
yeah, no, okay, that's easy then. Since we're on the Rams now, I just saw this just popped up. This 14 minutes ago. Rams wide receiver Demarcus Robinson was arrested on suspicion of DUI early Monday morning.
Oh,
so that obviously not great. Derrick Henry running wild, absolutely breaking tackles. Love that.
Thank you, Derrick Henry.
So I can't. All right, look, I cannot actually, in good faith, take the Saints. I don't even give a shit. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua with Kyron Williams, they're all healthy. Matt Stafford did not look bad in that game against the Eagles. They just got Saquoned.
Kyron Williams is still there.
You know what I mean? Like Kyron is a fucking unit. The Rams are a significantly better team than the Saints on both sides of the ball, and it's so obvious. So yeah,
that takes us to Tampa Bay at Carolina.
Oh,
despite Carolina playing better so far, I'm taking Tampa Bay.
All right, you know what? I'll have fun with this one.
Ooh, taking Carolina, okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'm saying Baker Mayfield revenge game.
So I like that, but I just think I'm like for the Panthers, they just played that well in front of their home crowd, forced OT.
They have a lot of momentum.
They do. Like there's almost not a lot. There's almost no negative to take from a loss like that in a season like this.
Right.
Like there's so much more positive when you think about the development of young players. And it is like, I know it's still going to be tough for Tampa Bay to actually, like, the Giants are the Giants. You beat the Giants like that, it's like, yeah, you should. They are in a state of disarray that is very, very uncommon in pro sports. Carolina's not in the same level of disarray. They were, and then they wisened up and said, you know what, let's just let Bryce Young play. And he is just out there having fun, and it is so obvious that is making him play better. And Thielen's back, which he does rely on Thielen a lot. So
true.
It's like a crutch for him, which is great. So I want to believe that Carolina can get a sick win at home for their crowd to just love and be happy about. And I would love it for I love Baker, because all the news that ever comes around, out about Baker is this dude is just the man.
Yeah.
Like this last week, all I was seeing was, he gave like $20,000 to a high school to get them equipment, and then they won the state championship. And I'm like, I kind of love that. That's great. So this is kind of the game of people you want to cheer for, to be real. But
yeah,
I'll take Carolina to be spicy.
That brings us to the podcast game. Philadelphia at Baltimore.
We might both take the same team here, because I know you don't want to pick Baltimore, but I'm taking the Eagles. I'm taking the Birds.
I do not want to pick Baltimore.
This is what sucks, is I got scheduled to work on this fucking day, and I'm pissed. But
that's stupid.
I know. It's like stupid, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I kind of need the money. But
yeah, no, I get
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what time is that game?
4:25. All
right, so yeah, actually, that's good. I'll be at work the whole time, which means I can watch it because we have like 15 TVs. But
and I'm sure it'll be an exciting game for sure.
Oh,
The
I
thing is,
I agree.
the thing is, even if I wasn't, superstitious about the picking the Ravens, the Eagles have one of the better passing games in the league, and the Ravens have the worst passing defense in the league. So it's just like, on top of that, not like, even though the Ravens have a good run defense, they're not immune to big rushing games, and it's Saquon Barkley. And so I would probably pick the Eagles anyway, even if I wasn't superstitious about this game. The only redeeming factor is I hope Lamar Jackson can continue his record against the NFC. And fun fact, freshly cut Daniel Jones is the only one to ever beat Lamar Jackson in the NFC.
Which is just the funniest shit in the world. But this is why I'm looking at this game. I'm like, this is Jalen's first shot.
Right.
And just these two facing each other, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, they've never faced each other yet, have they?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because obviously the way the schedules are made, you face the team that finished the same spot in their division.
Yeah.
Which the Ravens had always been winning theirs, and the Eagles would be like win one year and then win it 3 years down. You know what I mean? So
right. And I think the last time they played, I think Lamar was hurt.
yeah. So this is like a big deal, which is why it's 425. Because I think obviously if it's Fox that has it, they're appreciating like, yeah, this is a matchup that people want to fucking see. The two, arguably two of the three, I'll say two of the three best running quarterbacks in the NFL, because obviously Josh Allen does his shit as well. So, yeah, this next one I think is cut and dry. We're both picking Buffalo because San Fran should not have a shot in hell of winning in Buffalo against the way the Buffalo Bills are playing right now.
And it brings us to an odd Monday night game, but
I'm
Cleveland
actually
at Denver.
An odd one I'm looking forward to watching because Denver doesn't get prime time ever.
Right.
Since Manning retired. And Bo Nix deserves prime time, and I'm absolutely picking Denver here. I think
Same.
if there was a game for Jameis to fully Jameis the way we know him, it's here. Pat Surtain should be all over this shit. Like, I fully respect and appreciate Jerry Jeudy. This, like, he's going to get to play against his former team that didn't really give him any kind of QB or help or anything. Pat Surtain is going to body that boy, and it's going to be funny. And I'm ready. Yeah, Bo Nix is going to ball out, and yeah, I'm ready for a blowout. Like, if I bet on that game, I might just do a straight bet at like Denver minus 21. I don't care. Like, I think they could absolutely work Cleveland like that.
100% agreed.
All right, what do we have left? Immaculate Grid.
Yep, that's it.
All right, let me go ahead and share the screen because I have it locked and loaded. So we got, for anybody not watching, the Immaculate Grid, little trivia deal. So we have on the left column, we have Minnesota, Green Bay, and then 3,000 plus yards passing in a season. On the top row, we have the Ravens, Chargers, and Hall of Fame. And the whole goal is there are 9 squares, and you just try to match the square based on the column and row. And we always have fun with this because it's just a cool thing to do to make you think about football, past to present. So with that being said, and another note, if you're watching or listening, we always try to think of the most obscure human being to ever possibly fathom to successfully get this correct answer. So,
of course, you have to. For Baltimore, for 3,000 plus yards passing, Steve McNair.
Yeah, but I know that's going to be so high.
Well, I feel Lamar would definitely be highest.
Shout out to some random Chargers fan for popping in and saying exactly what we agree with. Get Malik Nabers out of New York. Get him out.
We agree, some random Chargers fan. We agree.
I love your profile picture there because I know he's gone, but that goes hard.
Um,
I have
but
to
so
hold
here's
on.
the thing.
I have to do this for myself.
Here's the thing about Ravens though. Flacco and Jackson.
Yeah, they're the 1 and 2. I agree.
Kyle Bowler did not throw for 3,000 yards.
Okay.
I don't think Hasselbeck did either in the Super Bowl year. Or not Hasselbeck, sorry, Trent Dilfer.
I think I agree. I'm gonna check because no, because he didn't even start. I don't think he wasn't even the starter to start that year. I don't think.
Some random Chargers fan, by the way, said thank you. You are very welcome. Yeah, I don't know if he started that whole year either.
He didn't. He played like 7 games. I just looked it up.
Okay. So that's why I'm saying Steve McNair. And Steve McNair only played 1 season.
Holy Mark Andrews.
2 seasons.
Holy Mark Andrews, brother. If you're not watching that fucking shit.
I'm waiting for the replay because I didn't see it live.
I did, and it looked fine to me, but I'm waiting.
They did confirm it.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, Mark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm behind you, so I saw like the live play before a replay, and it looked clean to me.
He got up there.
Bro, he went up.
Jeez.
Getting hit, maintains control, clearly fucking down his entire ass, knee, and both feet. Like, I don't know why we're taking 18 years to debate this shit.
Shit, they're going for 2.
Oh, Christ. Nick Sirianni special. Since he went bald, he's been better, but still, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that's why I'm thinking Steve McNair.
Let's just fire Steve McNair. It's not like their franchise has been around that long. 7%. That's got to be the lowest.
That's solid.
Yeah. Well, because literally, it's like 1999.
Yeah, exactly.
And they had Steve McNair till 07, technically. Flacco was drafted literally in 08 or 09. He was 09, so you had that 1-year gap. And then Lamar. Right. Like, they have literally not... They've been a team where literally they found their franchise QB and just had him, which
exactly
is very impressive.
Because like the only time the quarterback changed a bunch is from 96 to like 02, where Testaverde was the quarterback the first 2 seasons. And then ironically enough, Jim Harbaugh was the next quarterback. So there were some random ones there.
What an atrocity. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Hold on. I am trying to... All right. I don't want to... Hold on. Brother, I am digging deep for a Charger that is not just Phillip fucking Rivers or Dan Fouts or Justin Herbert. I'm digging deep. Give me a moment.
Ravens, Packers. Oh, what's his name? Ooh.
Hold on. I could have a fun one for the Chargers if people forget. And people do be forgetting. Hold on. Did he do it? He did. All right. I'm firing this because it's funny as fuck to me. Drew Brees. All right.
Hey-o.
And 14% is not high, to be fair.
Especially for Drew Brees.
Good as he was. Yeah.
What's his name? Vikings Ravens. His name is Quadri Ishmael. QADR.
QADR?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Just call me Ishmael. All right. Holy fuck. Oh, can you name?
I was like, I know there was a wide receiver.
Oh, this is gonna eat me alive.
What?
I'm trying to think of any of the famous Purple People Eaters Vikings names.
Oh, for Hall of Fame?
Yes, because nobody's gonna do it because there's easier ones. Like you could obviously just do Randy Moss, Fran Tarkenton.
Right.
Jared Allen's gonna get voted in this year, obviously. At least in my
I was
opinion.
just about to ask if Jared Allen.
He
was
is
in it or not.
a semifinalist this year.
Okay.
Oh, not me
There's
forgetting
another-
that Jalen Reagor literally is on kickoff returns for the Chargers because that dude is such a fucking bum. Some random Chargers fan, I am so sorry that the Eagles ever drafted him and gave him an NFL roster spot so that other teams would even think about signing him. I'm so sorry. Because that guy is so bad. Oh,
Damn,
I'm gonna
I had
think
a good one for Ravens Chargers, but they're not an intersection.
okay. Give me a moment to think of a really stupidly obscure Packers one, because I'm gonna.
I'm thinking of Ravens Packers, and because there's a couple that I definitely know of, and they're just not coming to me.
I'm trying to think of a Hall of Fame
Um,
Packer that is just stupid, and I'm gonna get there.
Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings.
Donald Driver.
Oh god.
I thought of another Vikings Raven. Mike Wallace.
Oh my god. He was everywhere.
I know. Damn, Green Bay.
What was his fucking career path? Steeler, Dolphin, Eagle, Raven, Viking, something stupid, obscure
Steeler,
like
Dolphin, Viking, Raven, Eagle.
that. Ew, ew, ew. Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, why can't I think of this guy's name?
You know what's annoying about the Packers is they had so many like great players
Mm-hmm.
that just aren't in.
True.
I'm literally like, can Jordy Nelson be in? So I can just put White Lightning in that fucking slot, please. Pretty fucking please. He was like he was absolutely my favorite wide receiver when I was growing up. Which makes me like
Oh, he was
quasi
a
racist
big
for
one.
no reason. But it's like, why do you like the white guy? I'm like, I just do,
Don't
dude.
worry about it.
Don't worry about it. All right, you know what? I have to fire this name. W.
Damn.
W. I have zero fucking reason why that name popped in my goddamn head, but it did. And I had to just do it. I remember Kenny Lofton as a Philly, and then I was like, Lofton. Oh, yeah. He was one of like the best of his era. James Lofton was incredible. But this is how if you've never been on this podcast, this is exactly how my brain works in real life. Like, I'll hear somebody say a sentence to me. I'll hear one word in that sentence, and then a song that had that word in the title will start playing in my head on command. And I'm like, I don't want this, but here we are. And that's exactly how it works with sports, too. All right. Vikings Hall of Fame. Chris Carter, Randy Moss are the obvious. And then there's all the dudes from their freaking insanely historic past.
Hall of Fame 3,000 plus yards. Do you think Sonny Jurgensen would be a good one?
That's got potential. I'm going to confirm it because you said the name. It's not like we found the name by looking it up. You said it out loud.
Right.
He has some insane dentures. Holy shit. Is this man living? Because that would be wild.
I actually don't know.
He is alive and he is 90. You go, man. I
Yeah.
love that for you. That is amazing. It is absolutely good because you know what team he fucking did it with? The fucking Eagles. Let's go.
Damn right.
He actually did it an impressive amount of times considering his era. He broke 3,000 yards 4 times, or 5 times. I apologize, 5 times.
Shit.
He played from 1957 till 1974
Damn.
with only Philly and Washington. He was less than 300 away from 4K twice in that era of football. That is amazing.
Good Lord.
No, think about that. Like 14 games in 1961 had 3,723 yards. Like, pardon my language, I've cursed before. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like, in today's game, the way passing is valued, that's like a 5,600 yard season.
Yeah.
And he is absolutely going in this slot because that is goated. 0.9.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's go. Amazing. This is killing me because I can literally picture one of the Vikings D linemen in my head that was a part of that. Just insane. They were literally like, this is the level for anybody who is not familiar with like old football. The Purple People Eaters was the nickname for the Vikings defensive line in, I believe, 70 to 74. And I think I'm not wrong in saying this, all 4 or all 5, depending on how wide the front is, all 4 or 5 are in the Hall of Fame. Which is just a feat that no other D-line in the history of football will ever come close to recreating.
Yeah, that's insane. There's an offensive lineman that I definitely know.
Oh, it was 10 years. It was even better. It was fucking 10 years long. You ready?
Damn.
I looked it up because I just need to see. All right, Alan Page is the name that was literally eating me alive. That's the face I could picture. Purple People Eaters was a nickname for the D-line of the Vikings from 1967 to 77. That is an unbelievable run. And just as far as nicknames go, that's kind of the GOAT.
Yeah.
Because they span such a... Are you ready for this? I'm going to just read what each of them contributed. And yeah, I'll start from the least contributions. So defensive tackle, Gary Larson, 2 Pro Bowls. D-end, Jim Marshall, 2 Pro Bowls. Carl Eller is the other like monster name. 6 Pro Bowls, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And then Alan Page, 9 Pro Bowls in 9 consecutive seasons, and he was a fucking D tackle that won MVP.
Jesus.
By the way, probably one of, if not the last one to do it, because that is just so obscure. But it has to be Alan Page that I type in here because his face was living rent-free in my freaking brain, and I can't not. He's had some 10 out of 10 interviews, too, that I've watched from like the old days where he literally was just like, yeah, what I tried to do on this hit was break his collarbone in half. You're like, I think you might have succeeded, Alan. I think you did it. Vikings Chargers is a very strange little combo that I really don't like at all.
I feel like there's obvious ones for that too.
There are, but I'm just
Like-
literally only trying to think of stupid because that's how I exist in this world.
No, yeah, for sure.
Hold on. I have a name that immediately jumped in my head that I need to just investigate because if it's correct, I'm locking it immediately. And I don't think it's correct, but he was on like 6 teams. God damn it. Fuck you, Xavier.
There's one lineman that I'm thinking of. At this point, I'm just trying to look him up because I can't remember this fucking guy's name.
What? Yeah. Okay. Not now. Oh. We were trying to watch Love Island Australia using a VPN, and for whatever reason earlier, the only thing that would freeze and not play was the ads. And it, like, I refreshed it and it went through 4 ads and then froze on the same exact 10-second ad on the same exact millisecond as it did before. And then we gave up. And she just came, my girlfriend just came out, was like, I saw the spoilers. And I was like, I want to know, but I'm not done with this yet.
Right.
Okay, Vikings Chargers is actually eating me alive. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. There might be a really easy one, and I'm going to be really mad. Oh. Because the Chargers have been around for a sneaky long amount of time. And I think they have a quarterback. At some point, played for both. And I need to figure out who the fuck it is because it's going to kill me. I'm pretty sure. So give me a moment.
I don't know why I can't think of this Ravens Packers. Killing me inside.
All right. Motherfucking. All right. One of the dudes is a name we literally said earlier while reading the 2010 draft.
Finally,
All
I
right.
figured out who the lineman is.
All right. Who? Say it. Say it out loud.
Ricky Wagner.
Okay.
For Raven
Oh, my.
Packers.
Okay, I'm sick to my stomach, but I have to type this name in because I already said out loud that he's a fucking piece of shit. You ready? You ready?
Jalen Ray.
Fuck my life. I forgot he was a Viking at all. But all right, the
I did
name,
too.
because I typed that in, we can just, the name, Linval Joseph.
Ah, wow.
Yeah. 6 seasons with the Vikings, 2 with the Chargers.
Of course.
Eric Kendricks.
Touchdown.
Oh, Justice Hill. Justice Hill. He's gonna go. I'll say it like Merle Reese. He's gonna go. He just freaks out, loses his mind. Oh, another Michael Bennett appearance on this list.
Yeah, Ravens Packers, Ricky Wagner.
Okay, I got you. Is it Rickey?
Ricky.
Okay. Lil Ricky. There it is. Bang. Why does he have a picture? But Steve fucking McNair. Whatever. Anyway, I just have questions.
Great question.
Packers, Chargers. We saved the worst for last.
There's definitely a defensive back that.
Oh, for sure. There's always Packers DBs that are just like really fucking good and end up somewhere.
Exactly.
Or were somewhere and end up in Green Bay. Was that a pass to Justice Hill or a run?
Run, actually.
Okay. Would have definitely loved that to be a pass, but that's fine. Good dub. Yeah, it's going to be a good dub for the Ravens. I'm
Definitely.
sorry, but there's not a fucking shot in hell they lose this now. They've choked before. They're not choking right now. Let's see.
Chargers, Packers. That's an interesting one.
Oh, hold on. I have a shot in the dark here.
Um, wow. I think my brain's just mush.
It is. Mine is absolute like improperly blended jello.
Um,
Because I'm trying to just go position group to position group. How about tight ends?
probably somebody.
It's got to be. Chargers go through tight ends like freaking crazy.
The only thing is the Packers don't really have that many tight ends.
Brother. Hold on. Tell me I just nailed the position so hard.
You already found it?
Yeah, I did. I nailed the position so hard. Jared Cook.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Rodgers, Lance Kendricks. Like there's fucking oh yeah. There's so many under receiving. I'm so mad. Casey Hayward. That's a good one. Casey Hayward's
That is
a
a good one.
good one.
Fuck
He's
it. Go with
TB.
him.
Yeah, I'm doing that because he's a good, damn good player. He's a stud.
55.
I think Casey Hayward was the second highest.
Damn.
That makes sense to me though. That people would because he's in the short-term memory. He retired in 22, played for a long
Right.
time, good player for a long time. That adds up. All right.
Cool.
Not bad. Took an eternity, but we got there.
I know.
This
That
was
is
not an
our
easy one.
episode. No, it was not. It was good though.
Oh yeah. Made us think like way harder than our brains were capable of at this point.
Oh, 1000%.
My brain's like, please don't do any critical thinking for the rest of life. We're done with that.
But thank you everybody for tuning in. We will also be posting the video to Spotify and the audio to all the other platforms. So make sure you check those out. Drop a like below if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, hit the bell. It lets you know when we go live. We usually go live each week on Monday nights. So we appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you, some random Chargers fan for commenting, and the rest of you guys for tuning in too. We will catch you guys next week. Peace.